Burgo Rippy inside Beautiful Harmony over here at the Heart of High Antique Center off of US 40, having the car show the first Sunday of the month through the summer. Here we are, July the 6th, going on 3 in the afternoon. They've had to cut back these hostas they started taking over, but they have all the clay. They have exciting, the lobby's jammed. They have extensive collection of, I'll call it vending, and then there's nickel slots. And here's a amusement park ride at $1,800. It has a Betty Bob plate on the front. The Greek gods still for sale. Kind of what caught my eye was that little green wagon there. It's a planter. That one's kind of a buckboard style one, but that's the kind my dad had, I think, in the Depression. It looks like a repop, you would think. Signage, leaded glass, a 500-pound scale, bent wood rocker. How they do it's a $135, 135. So I think the price of those went up. So, but you used to be able to get a new one like that. But a fire apparatus and a collection of specific sized wagons, some wrought iron, a Sasquatch, a Toledo scale. Now, Spaghetti Warehouse was torn down on Broad Street. There's also a Spaghetti Warehouse in Dayton, Ohio. There's one in Houston, Texas. I don't know. Here's a wicker planter for the porch. Not sure if that weight is like slave, do you think? You see those planters once in a while. Here's an interesting wire settee, love seat. So the place is jammed in here. So right off there's a Honda 50 Dream, the Billy. There's a couple Billies in here. There's extensive taxidermy. A washing machine. Cases full. Not sure what's in the cases here. Probably hard to film cases. Hard to film, period, with a crowd. But gaming, here you go. The shooting game and a marble table. And these miniature slot machines from the Depression. Just in mass quantity. And marble top tables too, in mass quantity. So someone had all this stuff, and that's why you can't have one, because there's people that accumulate. And there's like a semi-load of games in here. And here's a shot of some of the taxidermy up here. But this is a little gambling machine of some sort. Just one armband. There's a 4 model over in the corner. One out of cast. And then a miniature stove here. A few clocks. Some type of a bread making primitives. Look at the dime Coke machine over there. Cigar store Indians. Grandfather clocks in there. A wild monkey. And then this Cambosco Scientific. Those scales we would see. That's 2 different company names put together. It's been in here for a while. But this is like probably a federal style. I'm not. This is a game, a spinning wheel with a crank. Very ornate. It gets wilder the more you look at it. Probably a prohibition type of a thing here, whiskey kit or something or other. I'm not sure. Something for food storage, maybe even coffee. Some stoneware on the floor here. Dyes, commercial some type of a cash register here, but more vending. More like alcohol or something. Dice rolling machine. This one has a lot of colors. It's kind of a mid-size, a little peekaboo game. A 4 model slot. Games where you have the steam shovel. There's a few of them in here. Coin operated. Grab the toy and drop it and it comes out the slot. The Miami Digger, Miami, Florida. Not sure. It is a popcorn machine, yeah. Antique popcorn machine. Barbershop stuff. It's hard to get. More peekaboo games. A little salt peekaboo game. Approved by New York. There's the bugle players on these. It's like the hugest one. A stock certificate on the floor for something. More carvings. Lots of carvings. I'm gonna have to keep track of my time. I mean, this stuff is jammed in here. I've never seen so much stuff jammed into this area. But this is a game with a shovel. Again, this one kind of goes around like the junkyard one with a 3. Cigarette machines in bulk. This one has, you turn instead of pull, it looks like. It has a crank. Maybe not, I don't know. Slot machines, cigarette machines made out of wood. Gumball machines made out of wood and glass. Chewing tobacco, crystal. There's a popcorn machine. A wild monkey. This art looks like it's the same artist. I'm not sure. Ohio Valley, I suppose. More dies and more dies. And there's more cigarettes over here. 1 cent gum. A hobby horse, a pretty nice. They have some round glass. They have one for canes in here. But this is a rope display, like you see in the truck stops. And it's under 2,000. I think it's 1,800 bucks for it. A native here, but definitely looks like it belongs in Texas. And this guy, they're under 2,000, 1,000 something, but a metal cigarette. Another, this is a wooden cigarette machine. The viewfinder with the cowboys. You see your first motion picture. Some kind of wild glass there. Special piece. Some trench art maybe. Advertising. Camera collections. What I missed over here, that was gold. There's all kinds of native. The sterling's not here. That was here or was. The pottery, more native. But there's tons of native over. We're going to be making a huge segue through here, a pie safe. But these, look at this underwear guy. Long Johns, thermals. And then over here, there's another, but there's a small collection over here, but it's nice. From the period. A buffalo. There's one buffalo here. Fuzzy. And a pronghorn of some sort. But look at this booth on the end here. Just jammed. We're not gonna walk this road or anything, but this is a cane holder. They have like 2 of those cane. I don't remember seeing it. I just now figured out they're cane holders. But just exciting booths. Very large elk. Kind of a common looking one. But there's it's a nice clock, isn't it? Water buffalo, another elk, and a deer. This moose was shot by President Theodore Roosevelt at one point. It's more expensive than a regular one. It has some documentation on it. Another water buffalo. There's a caribou down here. It's a big, large muley. A caribou with the fuzz. Reindeer. So here's a grizzly. I think these are $3,500 for the Billy or the Grizz. Nice full mount Grizz. But this is an elevator. I was going to say stock service elevator for dumbwaiter out of a spaghetti warehouse, which was made into an ice house. I'm not sure about this one. This was at $45,000. Then in this sculpture, there's at $80,000 for that one piece. But I was kind of excited to see this on their videos, and then I'm seeing it in person. But they moved a freight elevator. That's what I was thinking of. The term, anyway. Possibly a freight elevator. Big. This thing's huge. Up on that rock. Loving that. Ram. Over here. This grizzly here. And this is my favorite elk here. The albino-ish. I like her pretty well. She reminds me of something. Still has that available. Very cool stuff in these cases. I'm not sure how to film them. They've had this guy in here for a while. And when they judge a deer, they go by the points. And then I don't know how they do a doe, but they take the rack. And then on a bear, they don't judge by the feet or the weight. They go by the size of the skull. And they take the skull and they take all the different measurements. And the bigger the skull, the bigger the bear on the judging. And they have I guess it would be, we'll call it a bear trap. It's an American fur company. I was surprised to find that out about bears. There's tons of native over here. Really exciting thing. Here's a piece like ivory. Very large ivory. They have tons of glass and stoneware and the world's largest antique center. It just blows your mind. You can only handle it for so long. Now, is this a Cleveland? It's only $325, but pretty nice painting here. $6,000 painting on $5,750. Asian. There's a hunting dogs. That was sterling. Massive collections of sterlings. There's a Hubley. They have Tiffany and everything in here. I remember there's some really high-end glass in this case. I remember seeing some just regular pocket knives, some World War II there, some Nazi. All the canes. I want to show those canes over here. That's a nice lamp, isn't it? I remember seeing a couple of these before. This cane collection. in the case. I think there was 2 of them, and they've been going through the canes. Like the biggest cane collection you've ever seen. You just open it like this. A lot of antler. What are we going to see over here? This is neat. Similar to the wicker planter, but different kind of wicker. Large marble carving. These look familiar. That style anyway. A prop off an airplane, is that what that is? She looks familiar. Nautical. Native. Perfume bottles. Watches. Some Ohio Valley here. Some overseas stuff. Like one more little row here, and a lot of sterling there. Missed a lot of that. A lot of rings over here. But this class, they change this up. It moves. Sometimes it moves from here to someone's booth too. Then it moves again. Beautiful stamped steel toys, but the piece of jade here under 500 bucks. It's at 475. It's a pretty hunky piece. Part of its Ohio Antique Center on the 4th of July weekend with Beauregard Ripley. Thanks for watching.